Australia is one of the most developed countries in the world. But did you know that around 90% of this country is still uninhabited? In this vast nation, the number of its national animals exceeds the number of people. Covering an enormous area, Australia itself is also one of the world's 7 continents. In this report, we will explore what kind of country Australia is. Where is Australia? Australia is a unique continent and an independent country located in the southern hemisphere. It stretches between the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. To the north are Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, and Timor-Leste, while Antarctica lies to the south. Its nearest neighbor is New Zealand, about 2,000 kilometers away. Surrounded entirely by oceans, Australia is a lonely country and an isolated continent. Besides the mainland, Australia also includes the island of Tasmania and many smaller islands such as Christmas Island and the Cocos Islands. The country's geographical diversity is remarkable. In the east lies the Great Dividing Range, a mountain range rising nearly 2,000 meters above sea level. The southeastern region contains fertile coastal plains and river valleys. In the center lies the vast desert region known as the Outback, including the Simpson Desert, Great Victoria Desert, and Gibson Desert. Australia's highest peak is Mount Kosciuszko, standing at 2,228 meters. The coastal regions have a humid climate and breathtaking natural beauty, with mountains, rivers, and beaches. In contrast, the inland and outback regions are dry and hot. Australia's extensive coastline and isolated position make it different from other countries. The coastal cities are modern and densely populated, where the economy, education, and high living standards are concentrated. On the other hand, the interior regions are sparsely populated, dominated by wildlife and cattle farming. This isolation is one of the key elements of Australia's unique identity. History of Australia. Australia's history is ancient and diverse. Humans first arrived on this continent around 65,000 years ago. The indigenous Aboriginal peoples lived with rich traditions, languages, art, and deep knowledge of nature. Their cultural heritage still strongly influences Australian society today. In 1788, the British established their first permanent colony. Initially, Australia was known as a convict colony for prisoners sent from Britain. The first settlement was established near Sydney Harbour, where convicts and soldiers built a new society. Over time, British settlers formed communities through both cooperation and conflict with the indigenous peoples. During the 19th and early 20th centuries, cities and industries began to grow. Railways, trade centres, and educational institutions were established. In 1901, Australia officially became a federal commonwealth and emerged as an independent nation. Since then, it has gradually developed into a stable democracy. Today, Australia is a developed, multicultural, and stable country. The long historical journey, from ancient indigenous civilizations to British colonization and finally to an independent democratic nation, has played a major role in shaping its current culture, society, and national identity. What kind of country is Australia? Australia is a modern, developed, and multicultural nation. It is a federal state consisting of 6 states: New South Wales, Victoria, Queensland, Western Australia, South Australia, and Tasmania, and 2 territories, the Australian Capital Territory and the Northern Territory. Although Canberra is the capital city, Sydney and Melbourne are the largest cities. Politically, Australia is stable, democratic, and offers a world-class standard of living. King Charles III is the head of state, while the Prime Minister is elected by the people. The country's laws, administration, and civil rights are comparable to those of the world's most advanced nations. Australia has a strong economy. Its major natural resources include coal, iron ore, gold, and copper. Agriculture is also important, with wheat, wool, and beef being major exports. Tourism and the service sector also contribute significantly to the economy. The country is among the world leaders in healthcare and education. Culturally, Australia is highly diverse. Indigenous, European, and Asian influences have blended together to create a unique lifestyle. Cricket, rugby, surfing, and outdoor activities are extremely popular. People in the cities enjoy modern lifestyles while also staying closely connected to nature. Australia's environment is incredibly diverse, featuring beaches, mountains, rivers, forests, and deserts. Wildlife such as kangaroos, koalas, and platypuses make the country truly unique. Why is 90% of Australia empty? Australia's vast deserts and outback regions are extremely difficult for human settlement. Rainfall in these areas is very limited, with some places receiving only 200 to 250 millimeters annually. Rivers often dry up, and large water sources are rare, making agriculture and water supply challenging. The Simpson, Great Victoria, and Gibson deserts experience extreme temperatures, sandstorms, and severe shortages of natural water sources, making permanent settlement nearly impossible. In addition, building infrastructure such as roads, hospitals, and schools in these remote regions is extremely difficult. As a result, most towns and cities are concentrated along the coast, where fertile land, sufficient water, and economic opportunities attract people. Australia's empty regions are not only deserts. Some areas consist of mountains, ranches, and vast wildlife habitats. This low population density helps preserve the country's natural environment. Animals such as kangaroos, koalas, emus, and dingoes have adapted perfectly to these landscapes. Australia's immigration policy. Australia is one of the world's most popular immigration destinations. The country welcomes students, skilled professionals, and families from around the globe. Its immigration policy places strong emphasis on professional skills, educational qualifications, English language ability, and employment opportunities. Through the Skilled Migration Program, qualified professionals can obtain permanent residency. International students can study at Australian universities and often receive work opportunities after completing their studies. Family-based visas also allow spouses, children, and relatives to reunite. Immigrants can access social security, healthcare, and education systems. Over time, immigration has made Australia increasingly diverse. Today, people from Chinese, Indian, European, and Middle Eastern backgrounds contribute to the country's multicultural identity, especially in major cities. Recent immigration policies also emphasize environmental sustainability and national security. Australia carefully manages immigration to maintain social harmony and stability. Immigration contributes not only to population growth but also to Australia's economy, culture, and international relationships. What is it like to live in Australia? Australia is considered an excellent place to live. Its cities are modern, clean, and safe. Cities like Sydney, Melbourne, and Perth offer outstanding education, healthcare, entertainment, and technological opportunities. The quality of life is among the best in the world. Nature is deeply integrated into everyday life. Beaches, parks, mountains, and rivers encourage outdoor activities and recreation. People are generally friendly, open-minded, and relaxed. Living in the interior regions can be challenging but also fascinating. The vast outback, deserts, and wildlife provide a sense of peace,